Option selects are techniques where one input results in two outcomes. They range from basic, like performing a normal buffer, to advanced techniques like Hitstop option selects. In fact, even if you're new to the game, you've probably done option select before without knowing it. In this guide, we'll discuss all the known option selects in Street Fighter 6 and how you can use them to improve at the game. Timestamps below. All right, so the first option select we started off with is a buffer. So again, you guys have probably already done this, but basically what you're doing is you're just doing a cancelable normal. So Kim's standard medium kick is cancelable into a special move. So for example, I'm doing stand medium kick in the run. And if the stand medium kick happens to hit, you cancel into the run, right? And this is considered option select because when you do the move without it being on hit or block, it doesn't come out. And then when it's hit or block, the move does come out. And this is really good just to throw out on neutral. Like if you're trying to check space. The other thing I'll use this for is like you can also buffer a drive rush. So here, for example, I'm pressing 5 medium kick and then forward. And if the 5 medium kick happens to hit, let's say they stick out a poke or something, then you get a full combo. Again, this works with any special cancelable normal. You gotta figure out what the best special cancel and what normal is the best for your character. All right, the second option, these are all called like fuzzy options or delayed options. So take, for example, defending a throw loop. Now, one option you can do is just mash throw, right? And this beats a throw loop, but if you're mashing throw against a throw loop and they happen to do a perfectly timed meaty, you get counter hit, right? That's really bad. So what you can do to defend against both these options is you just do a delayed throw. So you're holding down back and then you do a throw at delayed timing and see how it's able to block, right? Now there's a few other delayed options you can do. So in throw escape settings, there's a slot 3 and there's a slot 4. If you turn this on, and I do the throw, I get beat, right? Now, there's not an option that defends against all these options, but you can defend against 2 of these options, right? And a couple ways to defend against this option 4 is you can either do a delayed jump or a delayed mash, right? So I'm gonna do a delayed jab, and you see how that kept me safe, and my delayed jab didn't come out there. Now, the other thing you can do is you can do a delayed jump. And you see how that kind of punishes the shimmy normal, and I'm able to block the immediate attack if they happen to do it. All right, so this option select takes advantage of the fact that you can't block after a drive rush, right? So you can input a DP and it's basically guaranteed. They can do some things to be like a DI, but it's like super risky. They're not going to do it, right? This Kim stand hit medium kick and the crouch medium kick is a true block string. So if I try to DP, I literally cannot get anything out no matter how hard I mash. You see I'm getting hit. Well, the optional select here is that if you end on a down input, you'll either get a block or a DP. When Kimberly goes for the throw, the DP comes out. But if Kimberly goes for the low, I'm able to block. So I think this is really strong, and it's kind of an OS because you're able to block and you get the DP out when there's a gap in the drive rush. All right, so let's get into more advanced option selects. So this one takes advantage of the fact that if you do a perfect parry, you're able to act immediately. And if you do a regular parry, you're not able to act immediately. So what you do is you input something during that perfect parry like window, and it'll only come out if you actually get a perfect parry, which can be kind of tricky, right? So I'm inputting down forward medium kick every time I do a parry. So you see how that came out only when I got the perfect parry. Now there's a bunch of different options you can do. I think jump is also a really strong option because it allows you to punish the boom like that. One, you end up closer to them, and 2, you get out of Blockstun quicker so you can act earlier. I mean, your character might have other options, right? You can drive rush out of this. So the drive rush is only going to come out if I perfect parry. Now there's another way you can use this. So let's take, for example, Marissa's stand heavy punch, right? This is a really good move to drive reversal. But if you get this perfect parry, you don't want to drive reversal, right? So what you do is you input the drive reversal immediately, and if you perfect parry, it won't come out. Even though I input the drive reversal, the perfect parry ate the input, and I was able to get a full punish on the stand heavy punch. All right, next option select is a punish counter option select. So the thing with punish counter is when they get hit, you see how the screen freezes a little bit? Well, you could take advantage of this screen freeze. Basically allows inputs to be input later. So take, for example, for Kim, I can do a sequence where I do a run. You can do a run stop anytime you get a punish counter, right? And basically all you're doing is you're pressing punch during the time where they're running on you, right? And it's just super easy to do. You have like all day. And a few characters have something like this. They're all done different ways and they all have different levels of usefulness, but they all take advantage of the fact that punish counter kind of freezes the screen. So here's an example from Shinlad talking about how Lily has something very similar. So what you're doing is you're inputting one special into another special. And depending if it's a punish counter or not, you get two different outcomes. So you see on non-punish counter, you get the Wind Store, but on punish counter, you get Condor Spire. You can also do like level 3. There's a bunch of different things you can do, but they're all taking advantage of the fact that they have different hit stun windows. There's also something that takes advantage of increased hit stun, and I would call this like a trade OS. Every character can do this. I'll show an example of Kimberly. After this elbow hits, I can do a crouch medium kick, and this will trade, right? Sometimes it's hard to confirm off the trade and you don't know whether they're not going to trade. So you can input a series of inputs so that on non-trade you get the combo and on trade you get the combo. So what I'm doing is I'm putting 5 light kick and then 5 medium kick. The stand light kick actually was pressed, but because I pressed the stand medium kick after, it came out. Personally, I like to react to this, but there's some trades that I think are better off option selected. So play around with your character and figure out what they are. All right, so this is a throw option select. So what I have is Kimberly is going to do a throw, and then during the throw animation, they're going to input something like a crouch heavy punch or a jump medium punch. And what this does, it'll only come out if the throw whiffs. And you see how that automatically anti-airs, right? So I think this is pretty good. You can also react, but if you want to like make it autopilot and make it auto-timed, I think option selecting this is a possibility. So this option select also comes courtesy of Shinlad, and what you're doing with Marissa is you're doing a parry. If the parry gets hit, the follow-up's automatic, right? But if the parry whiffs, then you can do something like a follow-up on whiff. You can do an automatic command grab in case they empty jump, and that will beat, you know, whatever they happen to try. So Kimberly has a safe jump, right? And you can do the classic Daigo OS, where basically you do a safe jump and you input something during the safe jump, and that will come out only if they do a reversal, right? So take, for example, this situation. I'm gonna do a safe jump and I do it on Luke and I'm able to block, right? Generally parrying is better than blocking, so what you can do is input a parry and you'll actually recover a bit more drive that way. Now here's what it looks like when I do the option select, and all you're doing here is you're just inputting a parry. You see how my parry is being input, but I'm not actually, the parry's not actually coming out because when they get hit or block the jump in, the parry doesn't have time to come out. There's also some monitor control option selects. I have it in a previous video, but let's play the highlights right now. Here's one of the best examples I've seen. So this is just the light auto combo. You see on block, it's not coming out, but on hit, it automatically comes out. I think a human can easily do that, right? They can hit confirm off of 2, but even off the 1, the EX will only come out. Probably one of the easiest hit confirms in the world. You just dial in the string and you don't have to worry about the outcome. And here's an example of an option select, right? So what they're doing is they're throwing a fireball and then they're doing another fireball, but it's input with a special button and it's input with a drive parry. So if they happen to jump like they do here, because you can't actually get a second fireball to come out, the drive rush will overwrite that and then you get anti-air punish. The fireball option select can also be done in classic controls. So you have to activate button release input or negative edge to be on. All right, so this takes advantage of the fact that you can't have 2 fireballs on the screen at the same time. So you see how if I throw a fireball and if I throw another one, I just get a punch, right? Instead of throwing a fireball, again, you can throw it with a negative edge input. So for example, if I try to throw another fireball, nothing comes out. So what you're doing is you throw a fireball and then you do a negative edge fireball and then you drive rush. And my inputs aren't the cleanest, but you see how fireball comes out. But if I jump the fireball, I get a drive rush, and you can use that drive rush to anti-air. Again, I'm not the best, I don't play Ryu, but any character with a fireball that you can't have 2 on the screen at the time. So like maybe something like Luke that wouldn't work, but something like Guile, something like Ryu, you can get this to work. I think this option select is useful, but it's going to take some time for people to integrate this into their game. So I don't know if this is technically option select, but this is something that I found. What you're doing is you can cancel a drive parry during a super flash on the first frame. So sounds technical, but basically if you input parry anytime a super flash happens and you already have a move coming out, there's a chance if it happens on the first frame that you cancel on the parry like that. So technically it's an option select because parry will come out if possible. It's really good. You should learn this. It's really easy. It's also like doesn't occur all the time. Now, as you guys might imagine, there is still opportunity for more option selects to be developed or option selects to be used in different ways, right? Here's an example where DJ is doing a knockdown setup, and what he's doing is he's doing a delay throw. Now, we saw delay throws being used on defense, but here we're doing kind of like an offensive delay throw, where if you time your throw just right, you'll block a DP, you'll block a jab, but you'll be able to throw them if they sit still or if they parry, right? Now, this option select is actually two option selects in one, and what is happening is that right there the screen froze from the drive rush, and when the screen froze it actually ate the throw input, and DJ was able to do another input and they did this EX launcher, right? So there's a lot of depth to still be explored of this game. It's still new, but I think all the iterations of option selects are going to take advantage of the fact that screen freezes and hit stun and block stun force a different outcome in the game. And that's it. I hope this was helpful. If you know any other option selects, let me know down in the comments below. I tried to make this really comprehensive this time. Oh, how did I forget? I forgot the most important option select. I made a very similar guide for the for Guilty Gear, right? And I forgot one option select. Disappointed you didn't cover the I don't even play this game option select. So this is probably the best option select of them all. Make sure you learn this one. Basically, if you ever play a set against anyone, afterwards you say, I don't even play this game. Actually, before you even play the set, you just say, I don't even play this game. If you lose, then you have a perfect excuse. If you win, you're just that much better than them. So make sure you learn that one. If you're going to take anything away from this video, is make sure you learn this option select. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Of course, I'm going to be grinding Street Fighter until Evo, so we'll see some more Street Fighter action on the channel, more high-level tech like this. Let me know advanced topics you guys want me to cover that's not covered other places on YouTube. And as always, take care. Peace.